Okay, it's great to be with Jumana Kaplanian. I have known Jumana's husband since 2005, Ilyas Halabi, but it's a real privilege to be with you, Jumana. Jumana is a psychologist, and she has a lot of experience in working with young people and families, particularly in the West Bank area in Bethlehem and Palestine. So we only have maybe 15 minutes to just have a bit of a conversation. And the hope really with this conversation is just to get a little bit of humanity, a human contact from Palestine. Obviously, you're not in Gaza, Jumana, but Jumana, can you just start by just telling us what is life like for you now in Bethlehem in Palestine?
Hello to everyone. I really wanted to have this conversation in better situations, but sadly, this is what we are living today. The situation in Palestine in general cannot be described honestly. It's beyond difficult. Life is not easy. It's not normal at all. And this is the first time in my life and in others' life, from what I am hearing, that this is horrible like this. For sure, the situation in Gaza is horrible and cannot be compared to any place, even in the West Bank. But also in the West Bank, we are suffering in terms like sometimes there is school, sometimes not, and mostly not because there are strikes and mournings. Everything is closed. The checkpoints is closed. So literally we are living in a cage. We cannot go anywhere outside of Bethlehem. And even if you have to go outside of Bethlehem, the humiliation in the checkpoints, you might be checked and treated badly. So in the best case, it's best not to live outside of Bethlehem. We are all traumatized. We are all feeling down, and let's say we are all also hopeful and optimistic and want to have a better life and want to live normally as any other human in the world, but yet we are traumatized of what we are seeing and witnessing every day, and also we have relatives and friends in Gaza, and talking to them is not easy. To hear their stories, to hear what we are going through, from not having water, electricity, the kids and babies who are being killed in the hospitals, and how pregnant women are suffering, and every human being is suffering in Gaza. That's not easy at all. And that's not the case that any human being in the world should live in.
Yeah. Thank you, Jumana. Jumana, can you just tell us about coming back to your own work? Tell us about your work and how you started Psychological Spa.
Okay. I am a psychologist, a mental health trainer, and founder of Psychologist Spa. Psychologist Spa is the first locally specialized center in Palestine that focus on raising awareness of mental health. So we work in a different way. Rather than we start with the therapy and counseling and make a label on the center or this service, we start with raising awareness of mental health. And we believe, since 2014, we believe that raising awareness and create this stigma-free place will assist people and make people ask for mental health services. And truly, that's what's happening since 2014. More and more people are asking about mental health and asking about therapy. So basically, we work with groups, equip them with skills and knowledge about their mental health, and then they feel more able to ask about mental health or ask about therapy in individual sessions. Since the start of the war, the 7th of October, we start to provide free mental health services to children, to women, to even anyone who's affected by what is happening, to people who are living in the refugee camps. And daily there are soldiers getting into the camp, invading the camp, or arresting people, or arresting young men. So since the beginning of the war, we are providing those services, either like trying to do activities that release stress, or equipping people with some skills that might help them to deal with anxiety, fear, anger, or whatever mental status they are dealing with.
And what would be some of the tools in which you help them with dealing with trauma, and like how do you go about such a difficult thing?
Okay, basically that's a great question, and let me say something. All the let's say mental health techniques and all the psychotherapy does not reach up to today for certain techniques or therapy for the current situation. This is not normal. Like even the catastrophe like earthquake that we doesn't consider normal, we have techniques to deal with. But in this situation, no medicine or no psychotherapy in the world has developed techniques to work under such circumstances. And I would say there will be no techniques in the future for such circumstances, because this is not normal, and this situation doesn't have to be or exist at all. So what we are doing today, we don't say it's therapeutic, it's just alleviating the suffering. It's just to make people just handle, or just stand still, to just continue their life and just to support their kids. So what we are doing, I don't say it's helping a lot or it's miraculous, let's say, but I would say it helps to release negative emotions day by day. So so people get benefit today, but they need to do it frequently to recharge their energy. Okay, so what we are doing is teaching them to use their imaginary. We use guided imaginary technique, and it's really bad to imagine yourself in different situation, not here, but that's what we have. Okay, we do sorry, we do breathing and relaxation techniques to make people just breathe and release energy. We do exercise, like to make people move. We give some tips and directions, like when people say, oh, we are feeling helpless and feeling the survival guilt and we cannot work, we cannot do something with our kids, we direct people, look, if you want to deal with survival guilt, or you want to deal with low energy or low mood, we need to move, we need to speak up, we need to go to our work. The doctor can help people, the psychologist can assist kids and assist people to get better. The mothers who are staying in home can help their children to relax and try to create an atmosphere in their houses. So we try to provide such instructions to people to help them deal with difficult emotions in such situation.
That's amazing. And is there any, just for the sake of people coming who may not know, in terms of the situation right now, can people from Gaza, they are not able to come to the West Bank? They're completely separate.
They are completely, for sure, separate, and we are also completely separate from going to Jerusalem, to Ramallah, to Hebron, to anywhere. But the situation for people in Gaza is more horrible because they are bombed directly. In Bethlehem, there are incursions, there are house demolitions, there are shooting, killing, but it's not like we are bombed. So it's not safe, but more safe than people in Gaza. We try to stay in phone with our friends and people who we know. Like I have colleagues in Gaza, I work with them. And I stay with them in phone and usually text messages, because sometimes it's difficult to talk through the phone because they want to save the battery or in their phone to stay connected to the world. So sometimes voice messages, but we try to stay connected. And I would say the best techniques we found at this time is faith and belief, honestly, because we are all vulnerable, we are all feeling helpless. And yeah, the best technique that is useful in all of the times, faith, but in this time specifically faith, regardless of the faith. Yani, either if it's Christianity, either it's Islam, whatever is the faith, faith is very important. And also solidarity to be together, to validate people's feelings, to speak up the truth. That's very important, and that's the best technique and the best advice in this time.
Okay, wow, that sounds, it makes a lot of sense. Jumana, what are some of the challenges for you? I mean, is Psychology Spa, is it a charity? What are the challenges for you? I'm sure financially it must be hard to run a business like that in the West Bank.
It's very hard. It's very hard. It was very hard financially since the beginning, but that was not an obstacle for me, because I have a dream. I'm passionate about my work, and I love to serve my community. So that was a challenge, but in the same time, the passion and love to serve the community was making it easier. But it's even more difficult at this time, because since the start of the war, I have loads of requests from people, either schools, children, mothers, families, and even to support our friends in Gaza, and to support members of institutions in Gaza. It's very huge load, and I don't have a big team. Yani, mainly I was doing everything alone with the support of few consultants who work like a part-timers, or who come just when there is a need. But now it's very difficult to continue like that, because the need is huge, and the number of people who need help is huge, and we don't have support. We don't have any financial support. So it's really difficult, but this does not stop me or stop others to provide the help.
Okay, so I would tell the people at the event tonight how to find you online and your website. And is that the best way to contact you? Is website, Instagram, or?
Yes, we are available on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and we have also a website, www.psychologistspa.com. But our recent activities, especially in this time of the war, are more active on Instagram and Facebook. Okay. We didn't renew the website yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe just to finish with Jumana, I wonder, is there a particular story you could tell us about someone, maybe a young person who has gone through some of your work, and how it's helped or affected them or helped them?
In the West Bank?
Yes.
In the West Bank.
Yeah, in Palestine, yeah.
Honestly, there are a number of young people or kids. Like, but you know, the help is not direct. It's not like I see them, they are helped. It's a process. Healing is a process, and we try to alleviate the suffering. But there are a number of kids that we are trying to help by opening a drama and theater sessions for releasing stress, because the number is huge. So I decided that it's better to do this collective healing, to have all the kids who are affected in a group, and start like drama and theater. We have a specialist who is specialized in drama and theater therapy, and I am the psychologist accompanying her to assess if there are kids who are in need or further who needs further help. I can follow up with them individually. I started working with a few kids who are since day one, because we heard the sounds of rockets and the alarms, and it was very loud. Kids were in schools and they were very terrified. Even teachers and the administration were very terrified. So the kids were even extremely terrified, and they start to show symptoms. And the mothers called me and contacted me to try to alleviate the suffering and to know what to do with their kids. One of the kids he's 9 years old, and the symptoms were like he start urinating on himself, and also having psychosomatic problems like stomach pain, vomiting, doesn't want to go to school because the incidents start when they were at school. So he connected that fear and all of these negative emotions at school. So we start working with him individually. And also we will enroll him in the group, because I believe that group healing or like collective healing is very essential at this time, because this is a trauma that we all of us are witnessing. So to share in a group and learn some techniques in a group, that's very much healing. I would say, I don't want to say that we succeeded in healing him, because he's still getting the treatment, but I would say he's less anxious and more able to sit still and breathe. And we hope that he will get better, he and the other kids.
Yeah. Jumana, thank you so much. And from us in Belfast and in Ireland, Northern Ireland, we send our love to you, and we're so, I think, very grateful to hear about your work. And thank you for what you're doing and for the time you've given us tonight.
And thank you for your support and for all of your efforts trying to support innocent people and this humanitarian case.
Thank you. Thanks, Jumana. See you later. Bye-bye.